Let's start now solve problems of limit that end up with infinity of format 0 over 0. Okay, so let's assume we have limit x approaches to 3 4x minus 12 over x squared minus 9. So if we plug, first thing what we can do, plug this 3, right? If I plug it 3 here, I get 12 minus 12, it's gonna be 0. If I plug here 3, it's going 3 squared, it's gonna be also 0. So what we're gonna do, how we're gonna avoid this 0 over 0? For the cases of the undefined form as a 0 over 0, we will try to factor it down. Either take common factor out or factor it down with as a difference of squared, or factor down as a perfect square, or any other way of factoring we can use. So let's see. What can I do with this case? Limit x approaches to 3, 4x minus 12. I can take common factor out, 4. I will get x minus 3. Now x squared minus 9, it's the difference of squared. Like a squared minus b squared is equal a plus b times a minus b. So which means in this case we are going to get x squared, and instead of 9 I'm writing down minus 3 squared, right? Let me use blue color, dark blue color. Okay, this is going to be equal x plus 3 times x minus 3. Yes? So we write down x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, x minus 3 is canceling, and we get what? 4 over x plus 3, which means if we plug limit 3, we will avoid 0, right? We won't have any 0 anymore. We will get 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. So how did we solve it? How did we avoid 0 over 0? By factoring. Let me remind you, in my previous video, when we would get infinity over infinity, what we would do, we would take the highest degree of numerator and denominator and divide by that the term with that degree. In this case, 0 over 0, all we're gonna do, factor it. Okay? So let's do next one. Limit x approaches to negative 1. We have 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. Here we get x plus 1 squared. So if we plug, what we're gonna get? 2 times negative 1 squared, which is gonna get 2, minus 3 times negative 1, which is going to be 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and then minus 5, we are getting here 0. And here negative 1 practically plus 1 squared is going to be 0. Okay, we are getting 0 over 0. How are we going to solve this one? So we have here quadratic expression, trinomial. Let's break down. We know that if we have ax squared plus bx plus c, we can break down, or we can factor it down into a comes out x minus x1, x minus x2. I have a video working out in details this type of quadratic expressions. I'll post at the end of the video, so whoever is interested to go and look, you can go and watch that video. So to reach this format, all we have to do, first of all, represent ax squared plus bx plus c is equal 0. Okay, let's follow. 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 is equal 0. So we need to find x1 and x2. So to find it, first we need to find discriminant. Discriminant is equal b squared minus 4ac. Let's see, how much is our b? Our b is negative 3, which is going to be negative 3 squared, and then minus 4 times. My a is 2, right? If I compare, this is a is 2, this is b, coefficient of x, and this is available term. 4ac, which is going to be 4 times 2 and times negative 5. Yes? And we get discriminant is equal 9 plus 40 equal 49. So when we get square root, we need square root of from discriminant. That formula is asking us to take discriminant. If you watch video, you will understand this, all these details. So we are getting 7. Okay, from there, my x1 is going to be equal negative b plus square root discriminant over 2a, and x2 is equal negative b minus square root discriminant over 2a. Okay, so x1 is equal, my b we set negative 3, which is going to be negative b will be positive 3. If b is negative 3, then negative b will be positive 3. Here it is, b is negative 3, right here. So 3 plus square root of discriminant is 7 divided by 2 times a is 2, right here. Okay, and x2 is equal 3 minus 7 over 2 times 2. So here we get 3 plus 7, 10. We get 10 over 4, right? Which means x1 is equal, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 2. So x1 is equal 5 over 2. And x2 is equal negative 4 over 4, which means x2 is equal negative 1. Okay, now following this formula, right, factoring, we are getting a times, where is my a? Okay, let me write down 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 is equal a times, my a is 2, and then x minus x1, x minus, my x1 is 5 over 2, and x minus x2. So x minus negative 1 minus negative 1, we will end up with x plus 1, right? Okay, and I'm going to distribute these two by these parentheses, because here is multiplication. You either have to distribute by one parenthesis or by another parenthesis. And we are going to get 2x minus 5, x plus 1. Okay, so let's write down limit x approaches to negative 1. In numerator I get 2x minus 5 and x plus 1. And in denominator I get x plus 1 squared. Okay, let's see what we can cancel. X plus 1 I can cancel with this squared, right? And I'm going to get, if I plug it, negative 1, I'll get 2 times negative 1 minus 5. And here I get negative 1 plus 1. As a result, I get negative 7 here, right, over 0, which will be infinity. So we know that number over 0 is infinity. So a divided by 0 is equal infinity, and and a divided by infinity, we get 0. Those are two things we need to know. Okay, next one. Let me solve one more. So we have limit x approaches to 2, 8 minus 2x squared and x squared plus 4x minus 12. Okay, so plugging these 2 here, going 2 squared. So 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. 2 squared plus 4 times 2, it's going to be 8 plus 2 squared is 4, will be 12. And if I do minus 12, I'm getting again 0. And to remind you one more time, when we have form 0 over 0, we are going to factor it down, be it common factor, be it any kind of factoring, okay, by any method. So let's start. Limit x approaching to 2. 8 minus 2x squared. If I take 2 out, I'm getting 4 minus x squared, right? And this one, x squared plus 4x minus 12. This is, we are foiling as, I believe I have a video for foiling of format x squared plus bx plus c. I will put at the end of the video both method of factoring, and for ax squared and for this one, for this method, and I'll put for this method also. But in the meanwhile, real quick, to refresh your memory, so x squared plus bx plus c, we are going to break down as x plus number 1 and x plus number 2, where number 1 times number 2, I'm going to get c, and number 1 plus number 2, I'm going to get b. So in my case, x squared plus 4x minus 12, I can break it down as x plus 6, x minus 2. Let's check. 6 times negative 2, I'm getting negative 12. And indeed, here I'm getting c, negative 12. And 6 minus 2, I'm getting positive 4. And indeed, my b is positive 4. Okay, so from here, 4 minus x squared, that's a format. 4 minus x squared, that's a format. A squared minus b squared. Again, remember, a minus b, a plus b. Okay, so from here, limit x approaching to 2, I'm getting 2, 2 minus x, and 2 plus x. So the 2 squared is 4. So I represent this as a 2 squared. That's why 2 plus x, 2 minus x. And at the bottom I have, in the denominator, I have x plus 6 times x minus 2. Here is a very interesting thing. Look, in numerator I have 2 minus x. In denominator I have x minus 2. Well, it seems to me they are very similar, but yet it's not the same, because in the case of 2 minus x, my x is negative to positive, right here. In the case of x minus 2, x is positive, 2 is negative. Can we bring to the same form? Yes, we can. What do? So if I have 2 minus x, all I can do, if I put negative sign, take negative out, so my 2 will become negative and my x will become positive, right? So if I open back, I will get positive 2 minus x, correct? Or I can rewrite negative, put first positive 1, which is x, and negative as a second one. So shortcut to this is x minus 3 is equal negative 3 minus x. 5 minus x is equal negative x minus 5, and so on. You put negative sign and flip these terms with positions and with signs, which means in this case we are going to have limit x approaches to 2. I put negative sign on the top, so it doesn't matter. You can put negative sign in numerator or denominator. Now, because I decided to flip 2 minus x, make x minus 2, therefore I put the negative sign in numerator. If I would want to change x minus 2, then I would put the negative sign in denominator. So no difference whatsoever. So plus x, here I have x plus 6 and x minus 2. Now what do we have? X minus 2 is gone. Now we can, since we have all addition everywhere, we can with clean conscious plug this value of limit, negative 2 times 2 plus 2, and in denominator 2 plus 6. And what do we get here? We are going to get negative 2 times 4 and divided by 8. Okay, so 4 and 8 is going to be 1. This is going to be 2. And then I'm canceling also this 2 with this 2. So negative is going to survive, and the answer is going to be negative 1, because everything else, it canceled each other. Okay, so to summarize, infinity over infinity. If we have format infinity over infinity, we are dividing by divide, and numerator and the denominator by the term with highest degree, with the highest degree. This is this approach. And we have 0 to 0 over 0. We need to do factoring before taking limit. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching. See you at the next video.